The Call, Nora's Story, Episode 1. Part 1. Nora sat on the couch across from her mother, the television humming softly between them. The phone rang. Not loud. Not urgent. Just enough to cut through the room. Nora looked at it before it stopped ringing, like she already knew. This was the call. It was the call she had been waiting for. The one that would fracture her life and remake it in ways she couldn't yet imagine. At 16, Nora had learned how to be still under pressure. Nora was a small and petite young woman, with long dark brown hair falling past her upper thighs and pale skin that made her gray-green eyes stand out. She had a way of holding people's attention without trying. She carried herself with a steadiness that didn't belong to someone her age. It wasn't just confidence. It also was survival. She was a sophomore in high school, but nothing like the other girls. While they argued about parties, outfits, and hookups, Nora worried about rent, groceries, and how much longer her mother could keep going. She had been working since she was 14. During the school year, she shoveled snow and cut grass for the school. Summers were spent working for the Public Housing Authority, splitting her time between maintenance work and watching children at the community center. It wasn't extra money, it was survival. Her mother was sick. And getting worse. So, Nora quietly stepped in, covering half the household bills before she was even old enough to drive. At 14, she carried more responsibility than most adults ever would. And now, at 16, she was ready to take all of it. Every bill. Every burden. Every ounce of weight her mother no longer could carry. Nora was strong, physically, mentally, but more than that, she was reliable. She was the version of herself her mother had once been. The one who wouldn't buckle. The one who wouldn't drown in its weight. At school, Nora floated easily between groups, the athletes, the ROTC kids, the cheerleaders. She was known. Liked. Not untouchable, but respected. Still, she rarely spent time with them outside of class. Their lives felt distant from hers, almost unreal. Outside of school, Nora gravitated toward older people. Older conversations. Older life experience. People who understood responsibility. People who didn't flinch when life got heavy. That included who she dated. Jason was 21 and safe. Had a job. His own place, and he was caring. The kind of guy people nodded approvingly at. Nora cared about him. She tried to want him the way she was supposed to. But something was always missing. Void. Every relationship ended the same way, quietly, unsatisfied, wrong in a way she couldn't explain. She told herself it was just the wrong person. It always felt often forced. Why? She didn't have many close female friends to talk to about things with. Growing up a tomboy, she'd always fit in better with boys, playing sports, wearing jeans and sneakers. But the real reason went deeper. When she was 12, she noticed something that scared and confused her. She cared too much. Too deeply. Too intensely. Every time she grew close to another girl, the feeling crossed a line she didn't know how to name. Confusion turned into fear, and fear into distance. One by one, she pushed them away. She learned to leave first. To create distance. She told herself it was safer that way. That worked. Until the call. The one that opened doors she hadn't known existed. The one that shattered her carefully balanced world and forced her to finally see herself clearly. It started innocently enough, with a job application. Nora applied everywhere. Anywhere hiring. A fast food restaurant near her house finally called her in for an interview. Walking distance from school. Walking distance from home. Perfect. The interview was routine: availability, work history, shifts. When asked which shift she wanted, Nora didn't hesitate. Closing. Please, the manager warned her. Minors couldn't work past 10 p.m. without parental consent. No problem, Nora said. Sunday afternoon, the phone rang again. You're hired. By Wednesday night, everything changed. A new name appeared on the schedule as the closing manager. Jenna Williams. Nora noticed her immediately. She was a little taller than Nora, but then again, most people were. Long, wavy blonde hair. Ocean blue eyes that felt a bit too familiar. When their gazes met for the first time, neither of them looked away quickly enough. It wasn't awkward. It was curious. Like recognizing something before understanding why. Introductions were brief. Professional. Friendly. But something lingered beneath every glance, every shared moment. Over the next 2 weeks, Nora watched Jenna quietly. Carefully keeping distance. She didn't realize Jenna was doing the same. Neither knew they were already dancing. The conversations came easily after that. Small facts at first, like that she was 23, birthdays, music, favorite colors. Then longer talks. Phone calls. Late nights that blurred into early mornings. Nora started wanting to hear her voice. To see her smile. To be anywhere Jenna was. Almost a year later, Jason finally said what Nora already knew was coming. Choose, he said. Me or her? You don't want me to answer that. Nora said. Why? Jason asked, taking a step closer. Nora didn't hesitate. Because it won't be you. With that, Jason turned and walked away. For the first time, she stopped running from the question she'd been avoiding her whole life. Deciding to lean into it instead. When Jenna invited her over for the weekend, Nora said yes before fear could catch up. The drive was quiet. Not uncomfortable, just heavy. Like both of them were holding something fragile between them and didn't trust themselves to speak. When Jenna pulled into the parking lot, Nora's pulse spiked. There's no turning back now. Inside, the house was dim and warm. Calm. It smelled faintly of vanilla and wine. They stood a few steps apart. Jenna kicked off her shoes and motioned Nora in. Make yourself comfortable, she said. Nora didn't know how. They stood there for a moment, the air stretched tight. Why did you invite me? Nora asked. The words barely made it out. Jenna took a breath. Stepped closer. I just wanted time. Outside of work. Nora nodded, smiling, though her thoughts raced. Jenna pointed down the hall. You can shower first. In the bathroom, Nora stared at her reflection. You're imagining things. You always do. She washed quickly, heart pounding, trying to settle the heat under her skin. Back in the kitchen, Jenna poured white wine. Want one? Sure. Their fingers almost touched when Jenna handed it to her. Jenna showered next. Nora, get yourself together. She said to herself. Not knowing how she was going to make it through the night. When Jenna returned, hair damp, presence calm and steady, Nora's resolve cracked. Jenna stopped in front of her. Are you okay? Jenna asked. Yeah, Nora whispered. Jenna stepped closer. You sure? Nora forgot how to breathe for a moment. Thoughts running wild. Nora's hair was still wet. Jenna noticed. Why didn't you dry it? she asked softly. Here. Jenna was already behind her. I'll help. No, it's okay, I've got you. Jenna gathered Nora's hair, laying it gently down her back. Her fingers brushed Nora's neck. Nora shivered. Is this okay? Jenna asked. Nora nodded, not trusting her voice. The towel moved slowly, deliberately, followed by fingers combing through Nora's hair. Each pass was slow, intentional, and torturous. Jenna knew exactly what she was doing. Every touch sent electricity through Nora's body. She was shaking now, no hiding it. Why are you shaking? Jenna asked quietly next to her ear. You, Nora breathed. Jenna leaned closer. Why me? I can't say, Nora whispered. I don't want things to change. Jenna's fingers slid through her hair. How do you know they will? I care about you, Nora said. More than I should. Silence. Then Jenna moved in front of Nora, moving her hair off to the side of her face. Look at me, Jenna said softly. Nora did. Jenna's hand slid down and cupped her cheek. Warm. Steady. She leaned in slowly, close enough that Nora could pull away if she wanted to. Nora didn't. Their lips met. Soft. Uncertain. Then deeper. Everything Nora had been avoiding collided in that moment: fear, relief, desire, truth. The kiss was held as if it was their breath, and everything else was the water pulling them under. Lost in the moment, they knew it would have to end. When they finally pulled apart, Nora was still trembling, but not as she had been. It finally made sense. Why the others never fit. Why something was always missing. One kiss was all it took. Not to change everything, but to finally name what had always been there. They didn't speak right away. Jenna stayed close, her hand warm against Nora's skin. Nora's heart was still racing, but the fear was gone. In place of fear was something steadier. Clearer. She exhaled slowly, like she'd been holding her breath for years and only just noticed. This was why it never worked before. Why every kiss from the past felt incomplete. Why she always left past relationships first. It hadn't been the wrong people. It had been the wrong truth. Jenna brushed her thumb along Nora's cheek. The touch was light, grounding. Are you okay? Jenna asked softly. Nora nodded. Yeah. And for once, she meant it. She felt exposed, raw, but not broken. The emptiness she'd carried for so long wasn't gone, but it had been shaped now. A name. A direction. They sat together, shoulders touching, the world reduced to quiet breathing and shared warmth. Nothing rushed. Nothing demanded. Just presence. She knew things would get complicated. That nothing could go back. That she would lose people. But for the first time, the idea didn't scare her. Because she finally understood herself. And understanding, she realized, was stronger than fear. One touch. One confession. One kiss. One call to destroy the life Nora knew, and leave behind a blank canvas, waiting for her to finally paint the truth. Her next chapter.